Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and Amber Heard is back in the news cycle.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
After it dominating the news almost all summer, everything just kind of went dark after Johnny Depp won the lawsuit, and it seemed like things were over. There was talks about appealing and whatnot. Kind of figured she would, but that the end result would be the same. And then obviously the Elon Musk Twitter stuff took over, and that's all we've been hearing, that in Ukraine. So it's nice to get back some of that summertime 2022 vibes here in the news with a new article from CNN. Let's go over it together, claiming Amber Heard says she has settled defamation lawsuit with Johnny Depp. So let's find out what this settlement is and see if there's any new interesting information beyond just, she's now going to pay less because she was already broke and had nothing to begin with. Look at that photo. What a stone cold looking woman. I'm not gonna say she's ugly or anything to that effect. Don't want to be rude. It's just, have you ever looked at her and thought, she looks physically cold. Not like she's shivering, but like if you touched her, it'd be cold. It's weird how sometimes people's true colors can be reflected in their physical outward appearance. Let's go through here. Amber Heard has settled the defamation lawsuit with her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, according to a statement provided on her verified Instagram account. Heard said she has made no admission and that the settlement is not an act of concession. Oh, you're really gonna double down and stick to that story till the end? You might actually be more respected. Not a lot, but more respected if you just came out and said, look, I'm kind of a piece of shit. Johnny at times can kind of be a piece of shit. We're just gonna both go our own ways and make this as financially amicable as possible because this was a mistake on all sides. You'd still be kind of a filthy liar because we all kind of know the truth. But you might get some more respect if you just showed a little humility and admitted a little bit of fault. But toxic Hollywood narcissists can't do that, so. She pointed to her experience with the American legal system as part of her motivation for deciding to settle the case, alleging that abundant direct evidence that corroborated her testimony was excluded. Was it, though? This trial ran on for days. It's all anyone could talk about. I can't imagine there was a whole lot that was excluded unless your incompetent, fourth team of lawyers, because you kept firing all of them, didn't present it, probably intentionally because it actually made you look worse, or unintentionally because they didn't have the time to get everything together, because you kept firing people because they were telling you, yeah, you don't have a case. And that popularity and power matter more than reason and due process. No. That's everyone. It had nothing to do with popularity and power. Everyone was anti-Johnny Depp for the longest time. The Sun, the just regular people on Twitter, all of the media. The moment you came out and said that he was beating you, homeboy lost his jobs. Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter. Clearly, his popularity didn't save him from any of that. Evidence did. And I don't even know why I'm covering what you have to say. 99% of people at this point know the truth. This might be the best performance she's ever given. I mean, she must believe what she's saying. I believe she believes what she's saying, and that's a whole lot more believable than her casting an Aquaman, let's say that. I genuinely think she is so deranged and has been telling herself this lie for so long that she now believes it's true. Let's continue. I make this decision having lost faith in the American legal system where my unprotected testimony served as entertainment and social media fodder, Heard said. Alright, two things. One, that's what comes with being a celebrity. I mean, a D-list celebrity, but a celebrity nonetheless. And second, I assume you could have not had this become a social media tar fire if you didn't stoke those flames. You were the one who brought these fake allegations to the news. You're the one who went on this crusade saying that you were doing this for women everywhere. You stoked these fires, and in doing so, you burned yourself. You can't get mad at the fire for your own doing. I mean, you can, But fire ain't sentient. It's not going to give a shit about you getting mad at it. Just like the internet probably is not going to give a shit about the fact that you're still sticking to and doubling down on this story and claiming all of this absolute bogus. The actress, well, if you want to call her that, filed an appeal in the defamation case earlier this month, but Heard said in her statement Monday that even if her U.S. appeal is successful, the best outcome would be a retrial where a new jury would have to consider the evidence again. And they would come to the same conclusion because, well, that's what evidence is. It is pieces of information that lead you to a conclusion. And all the pieces of information led the vast, vast majority of people in the world that were covering this and following this to the conclusion that you're kind of a filthy liar. And not that great an actress. CNN has reached out to representatives for Heard and Depp for comment. Well, you know what? I'm glad they've also reached out to representatives for Depp because CNN was, if I recall, I could be wrong about this, one of those that was staunchly pro-Amber Heard for the longest amount of time. So if they're at least reaching out to both sides, you know, that's somewhat fair, and I can appreciate that. I simply cannot go through that for a third time, Heard said in her post, adding that she wants to spend time productively and purposefully. I can't afford to risk an impossible bill, one that's not just financial, but also psychological, physical, and emotional. Well, once again, you brought that on yourself. I'm sorry. If you wanted to be productive and have purpose, maybe you should have actually donated the money that you said you were going to donate, not pledge it, and help women who are far less fortunate than yourself get out of situations that they shouldn't be in. If you want to be productive and purposeful, maybe you shouldn't be making this all about you and shouldn't be stoking social media fires so that you can get attention. If you want to make this productive and purposeful, maybe you could clear your conscience and come clean about the fact that, yeah, you did some things you ought not have done, regardless of whether or not Johnny did as well. And you have the opportunity to be the bigger person and be like, yeah, I screwed up when I shouldn't have, and I apologize. No, at this point, you look like a third-rate female tricky dick Richard Nixon. Depp accused Heard of defaming him in a 2018 op-ed she wrote for the Washington Post. The jury awarded Depp $10 million in compensatory damages and $5 million in punitive damages. A Virginia judge reduced the punitive damages to $350,000 because of statutory limits, CNN previously reported. The jury also awarded Heard $2 million in compensatory damages and no money for punitive damages for her cross-complaint, which alleged defamation over statements Depp's attorney made about her abuse claims, which is interesting because Depp could actually appeal that. Now, I don't think he should. Homeboy made out like a bandit. Take the money and run. And if he settled with her, this only looks good for him. The media has clearly reported on how she is beyond broke. Like, she was broke and then kept spending money. She does not have the 10 mil to pay him. She don't got 10 cents to pay him. So for him to be the bigger man and step back and say, all right, let's settle on this amount here. I believe so far it's been announced as $1 million. Maybe this will cover it. That immediately looks so good for him. And regardless of whether it makes her look weak, let's be honest, you're just getting a 90% discount, Amber. Like, you should probably take what you can get. Women shouldn't have to face abuse or bankruptcy for speaking the truth. But unfortunately, it's not uncommon, Heard said. Oh my goodness. Double down. Like, it is actually almost impressive at this point. I don't have anything snarky or funny to say because my mind is just blown at how long she thinks she can keep this shtick up. Does anyone that isn't the most blue-haired of blue-haired anime pick on Twitter believe this woman? Even half of them gotta be like, something's not right here. Usually, if you are right about something, you say it, and then you're good. You move on. Liars are the ones that keep trying to double, triple, quadruple, whatever five is, five-druple, down, and keep repeating their story over and over. Because the more they say it, the more they believe it, and the more they believe it, the more they think that you will believe it. It is pathological, frightening behavior, and it's no wonder that she never actually truly blew up in Hollywood. I imagine that people, even fake Hollywood people, could see through this and they're like, ooh, That's a little much for me. Like, I don't know what Johnny was going through and getting with this woman. Maybe she's that great of an actress. Maybe she actually acted like she was, a good person at the beginning. Heard said, I will not be threatened, disheartened, or dissuaded by what happened from speaking the truth. No one can and no one will take that from me. My voice forever remains the most valuable asset I have. Wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if she lost her voice? Like, went in for some sort of surgery because maybe she got strep throat or something and then lost her voice. I'm not saying I want that to happen to her, but after that statement, it would be ironically hilarious. I mean, SNL couldn't write a better joke than that. And sometimes life is just funny. But no, I don't think her voice should be taken. Again, as a proponent of free speech, I think she should be allowed to get on her pulpit and espouse these lies. Because, well, for one, it gives me content. Second, when people are out there speaking insanity, it's easy to call them out when they're able to do it in public. So, I don't want to see her censored. I do want to see her called out for her lie, only for her to septuple down so that she can be called again and the cycle can repeat, while we all stay distracted from the mind-boggling deep state shenanigans that are going on behind us. I mean, so that we can have fun things to read on Twitter. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about all I've got for this one. I want to start the day off with something light. It's easy to make fun of Amber Heard, kind of low-hanging fruit. It's like, it's almost like Donald Trump jokes, but for, feminists in Hollywood. It's such low-hanging fruit that I usually don't even enjoy making it. It's too easy. But I thought, it's Monday. We all need something kind of light to start our day off. And what's lighter than having to only pay $1 million instead of $10 million, right, Amber? Please like, comment, subscribe. I am really trying to grow this channel, so that would mean the world to me. Also, follow me on Twitter at BoltTheWord. And this has been Words of Paradise.